12 months ago, our silver Honda Civic 1.6i DTEC arrived at RPM HQ, and there were things we could tell straight away that it was good looking and well spec'd. There was something we were quite skeptical about, Honda's fuel consumption claim, and there was something quite surprising that we would discover as the year went by. We'll get to the surprise elements shortly, but first, the obvious bits. The diesel Civic is only available in one trim level, which might be something to complain about, if it wasn't this executive spec. Packed with niceties from leather to dual-zone climate control, it makes sure whoever is in charge of the car is well looked after. The phone and iPod interfaces mean you're connected and entertained, while the seat heaters are especially useful when motivating one to head out to an early morning shoot during Gauteng's horrid winters. Practicality is also part of the package. The Civic features Honda's Magic Seat system, which allows the rear seats to be folded up, making useful space available very easily. The split rear seats can also be folded down. One interior bit that we're still not quite used to is the split rear view, thanks to the exterior mid-mounted wing. But thanks to the reversing camera, another bit of standard kit, reversing maneuvers are still manageable. The Civic name has obvious associations with the Type R, but our long-termer packs a slightly more modest 1.6 diesel, which puts out a useful 88 kilowatts and 300 newton meters. There really is only one reason to choose diesel over petrol, and it's not because it sounds better or because it's got better top-end power, and it's certainly not cheaper to buy, but it is cheaper to run, so that obvious reason is economy, although we weren't quite sure that this car is as economical as Honda says it is. Depending on which source you read, their claimed combined cycle fuel consumption figure is either 4.1 litres per 100 k's or 4.7. Our best figure, thanks to some open road driving combined with the car's eco mode, was 4.9. Our worst figure, probably thanks to too much time in the typically horrendous Joburg traffic, was 8.7. But when it was all worked out, our total average for the time we had the car didn't really match either of Honda's claims, coming in at 6.4 litres per 100 k's. But that really doesn't matter because the fuel consumption isn't terrible, and the whole package just feels so good. Nicely weighted steering, short, sharp gear shifts, a well-sorted chassis and suspension. Despite this car's economical sensibilities, it can actually be a lot of fun. In our year with the car, we've had more than one road trip and always found the Civic as happy to cruise as it was to rip through a mountain pass, helped in no small part by lots of low-down torque that's ready to shove the car forward with little effort. And that's the surprising thing about this car. Of all the talents you'd expect a diesel hatch to have, an involving drive isn't necessarily one of them. For those times when you feel like being responsible for your money and the forests, the Civic has an eco mode that thins out the power and reduces the drain on the car's various systems. Another of the Civic's strong points is how its styling has remained fresh. It's been around in its current form for about 3 years, and it still manages to be the standout member of its class, and that's despite a number of newer competitors having hit the scene in the meantime. Doing this job, it's a bit easy to get blasé about test cars because you assume that when you hand one back, another one arrives, and that's true of long-term cars as well. But our Honda Civic 1.6i DTEC has been such a great performer and it's run faultlessly, and because it's been so easy to enjoy, it's going to be difficult to hand it back. Style, comfort, economy, and a surprisingly enjoyable drive made our year with this Civic a good one.